The Cellcast is recorded in front of a live streaming audience.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Cellcast. Joining me today is, well, who's the most remarkable, extraordinary fellow? You, Jacob the Artist.
Why, thank you, I think. Let me introduce our co-host, a man who just sailing along and then gets attacked by a big vulture creature, which I'm very ironic that we didn't invite Nate Marchand on this one. Welcome, Drew.
I'm going to have to find a sound effect to edit in here because that bird was as big as a battleship.
Yeah, agreed.
Sound effect will be going in there, by the way. I just got to find it later.
Roger.
Tonight, we are jumping all the way back to the 1930s when color was still a new fad that no one knew if it was going to catch on. Popeye the Sailor meets Sindbad the Sailor. It is, what, 15 minutes maybe?
16 minutes.
16 minutes?
16 minutes and 22 seconds.
Right. So, yeah, this is the long one. So, pull up your Saturday morning cereal, and let's get into this. I don't know. I thought I had a good transition there. Apparently, I didn't. So, why don't we go ahead and talk about our spoiler-free thoughts for this episode?
Oh, okay.
Certified fresh and spoiler-free.
That was good timing.
I am 9/10 certain I have seen this a bunch of times when I was a kid. Because I have memories, like vague memories of different parts of this. I did not fully see this from beginning to end probably until about last year. And the only reason is because you know, as the only reason I hadn't seen it before this point is I don't always think to go back and watch old stuff in my casual viewing, you know. And even though I love these kind of things, love these old cartoons, and we'll watch them sometimes, you know, and just around the house and need something on, or because, you know, it's always at least good entertainment, even when it's not a good one. This was one that's just never popped up because I don't think I've actually gone back and intentionally watched Popeye.
Oh, okay.
I watched Popeye a lot when I was a kid because Channel 7 television, first thing in the morning, would have the Bugs Bunny and Tweety show, and then following that, they'd have their own cartoon show where they'd pull different cartoons from whatever studio. None of the Disney ones, of course, at the time, even though, ironically, Disney owned ABC at the time. But either way.
Yeah.
So I would have watched a ton of Popeye, a ton of Pink Panther, all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah.
When I was a kid. So I am, like I said, I'm 90% certain I watched this in one of those times.
Yeah.
But I don't remember actually sitting down and watching this specifically until about a year ago. And we'd been talking about doing some more of the older shorts.
Right.
And which is part of the reason I think we decided last Halloween to do, I almost say Brain Away, but it's Runaway Brain.
Runaway Brain.
That's I'm sure I think that might have inspired that choice. I could be wrong, but that kind of did give me the inspiration to go ahead and put one of these. And I hadn't actually thought to put all three of the double length color Popeye shorts in here as kind of do all three at once. But for whatever reason, I decided, no, let's just focus on this one because we'll get to the other ones later. Maybe, who knows? But yeah, this is a good, fun little short. There's nothing in here I think would be considered controversial. There is some pretty cool animation techniques in this, including...
I would go beyond cool. It's phenomenal.
It's phenomenal. There is, admittedly, as watching on a nice television, there are some things that stick out and a couple other age-related issues, but honestly, take it in context of what it is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool, phenomenal things in here.
Yeah.
Which, as I have actually gone back and read some histories of all the animation companies, that doesn't surprise me with Fleischer, because they are always doing something new and usually doing it entirely differently from everybody else. So, yeah, this is beautifully animated. It's well done. You should definitely go and watch it. You just go and Google or go to YouTube and search for this thing. It's very easy to get. It is completely in the public domain.
It is.
And as long as, and be advised, there is a weird cut near the beginning on nearly every version of this I watch, because I tried 2 or 3 different ones to see if there was one that didn't have it. But there is a weird cut near the beginning as the camera is traveling up the mountain, and that cut is in every single one. So I'm thinking that's just one lost from the master at this point.
Probably.
So yeah, it's very good. Go watch it. Jacob, what are your thoughts?
Oh, dude, this short, I remember clear as day as a child watching. Either it was on like some short they would throw in between, like, you know, He-Man or Thundercats or whatever, because I remember this so clearly. And watching it later on, because I think someone in our chat mentioned about Boomerang, because I guarantee this popped up on Boomerang on Cartoon Network. And I have so many clear memories. I'm watching this the other night, and clear as day, I'm quoting everything in my head. I know what's going to happen because I've seen this so many times. It is ingrained in my consciousness as one of those little things that just stuck out to me as a kid, and it's always been there. And I cannot say anything else but just high praise for this. And like watching it now as a reviewer, the animation is just phenomenal for the time period, the way they did the animation, the way they would use 3D or modeling to
it's modeling.
It's modeling to create a 3D effect.
Yeah.
And it's just so well done, but like it's perspective, it's forced perspective, and all this great stuff. Be like, yeah, it's got the classic tropes from that era, and be like, you just can't avoid them.
Yeah.
But I'd be like, it's your classic adventure story. So I can see where people might have a problem with this nowadays with our modern culture, but it's what it is. It is what it is.
Only because olive oil has always been the damsel in distress. So
yeah,
people are going to claim misogyny on that, but
possibly
that is not the point of this.
No, it's not. It's not. And again, going back to more, this is a timeless classic, which be like, if you are a fan of animation, you will probably watch this. And if you haven't, stop what you're doing, go to YouTube, find it on YouTube.
Yes.
Take 60 minutes out of your time and enjoy this very classic, revolutionary piece of art that came out in the mid 30s.
Yeah.
So I would highly recommend this to anybody. It's your classic Fleischer animation.
Please make sure you try to say Fleischer, because what that just sounded like.
Gotcha.
That could be misconstrued.
It could. Fleischer, very arcing back to, it is a Fleischer animation. And I'm floored by it. I was like, oh my gosh, yes. But
this is the second Fleischer cartoon we have reviewed.
Yes. What was the first one again?
During the Heron hiatus, so you were not there.
Okay.
Me and Marchand did a Superman cartoon called... I don't remember if it's the Arctic Giant or the Ice Giant.
Yeah, one of those.
But it's basically Proto-Godzilla.
Oh, okay.
Like, creepily Proto-Godzilla.
Yeah.
like the Godzilla people had to have seen this, even though they've never mentioned it.
Fair. So be like, I am currently working on the cover art. If you are in my my private message board, you see a lot of the progress, and a lot of people are really enjoying it. So yeah, that'll take me a couple of days to get done because I'm doing it digitally instead of traditionally.
And you're still learning the software.
I'm still learning the software. I'm still learning how to use it. So yeah, just stay tuned for that, and we'll be like, he'll probably get it edited in a couple of days, and then we can get this out because again, we are recording a little bit later than we usually do.
And not that much later, though,
No,
thankfully.
it's 24 hours. It's
Yeah.
24-hour difference.
It's
Either or.
Not like the last the Tree of Might. That one was definitely behind.
Yeah, that was. But either or. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Would highly recommend it to anybody. So, yeah.
So, yeah, why don't we go ahead and get into the full spoiler-filled section
Yes.
of this and see how it goes.
Yes.
The following is a spoiler-filled review for the film Popeye the Sailor meets Sindbad the Sailor.
There you go.
Listener discretion is advised. Popeye the Sailor Meets Sindbad the Sailor was directed by Dave Fleischer and Willard Bowski, who directed many of the Fleischer animated Betty Boop, Popeye, and Superman cartoons.
Yes.
It was written by Izzy Sparber, Joe Stoltz, Bill Turner, and Jack Ward. Is based on the comic strip Popeye the Sailor Man by E.C. Cigar and distributed by King Feature Syndicate. Getting into the cast, we've got Jack Mercer as Popeye, who also voiced Felix the Cat. Mae Questel, who voiced Olive Oil, who also voices Betty Boop, and did voice Betty Boop in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yes.
It was one of her last voice acting roles. Lou Fleischer was the voice of Wimpy, and that's all he's voiced is Wimpy.
Okay.
Gus Wick was the voice of Sindbad, and if you couldn't tell by the fact that Sindbad is pretty much Bluto, he's also the voice of Bluto.
Oh, okay.
And Bula and Rock, the two-headed giant and the giant bird,
Yes.
might have been voiced by Bradley Barker. I say might because IMDb doesn't list that. I got that off of a Paramount Pictures wiki,
Oh, okay.
and I could not find any proof anywhere else that was who it was. Which Bula has a lot of lines in this for someone who I can't find information for, compared to Wimpy, who had one line, or two lines, I think. But I can't find when you search Bradley Barker on IMDb, I can't prove that that's the same Bradley Barker either. So I don't know who the guy is. That's the best name I could come up with. So maybe Bradley Barker.
Good deal.
Kingdom Hearts connections. How many do you think we got?
Oh my gosh.
And before you say that they can't have any because it's too old, just remember that Alice in
Archive.
Wonderland has the same...
Yeah, archive footage.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily It could have been archive, yeah. Could have been archive, could have been... technically... Hey, Mae Questel was still doing voice work in the 90s, so...
Yes. I would probably go... a fair estimate, maybe 2. Because again, they're using archive footage. They could be like pull an old actor out of, the quote unquote dust, the dustbin to, give them life in a new medium or something like that.
What if I gave you the hint that none of these voice actors ever did anything for Disney back in the day?
I think in that case, probably 0.
It is 0.
Okay.
It is goose egg 0.
I was literally trying to just be, okay, there might be a possibility, and then be like...
There was a possibility, but unfortunately, none of these voice actors ever did it. Well, I say none of the voice actors. Mae Questel did eventually voice Betty Boop for Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which was Touchstone, which is owned by Disney.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and until they... do Who Framed Roger Rabbit and Kingdom Hearts, which I have a feeling they'll never do that because copyright. Although Betty Boop might be public domain
Betty
by
Boop
now.
is open domain.
Or at least her original design is, where she was still a
This
dog.
movie is open domain.
Yeah, this movie's public domain. So.
Yeah, which is weird because it's 1936.
I'll tell you why.
It's actually it's 2026.
Yeah, I'll tell you why, and it'll make it'll be about as clear as mud.
Okay, so is that part of your?
No, it's not part of the trivia. I'm just going to say it now.
Oh, okay.
So the reason this is public domain is because every time the laws for public domain change, they always have to stipulate that anything that is already in the public domain for any reason, it remains in the public domain.
Oh, okay.
As it currently stands, I believe it's 95 years.
Okay.
From the...
Oh, that makes sense.
From when it came out. Yeah, it's 95 years from when it came out. That has been changed multiple times.
Okay.
When this would have come up, when this became public domain, the rule was that you had it in the public domain, I think, for like 35 years, and then you could re-register it for another 35 years.
Right.
I think that's what it is. And the company, because it was not Paramount or Fleischer, that had the copyright at the time for this, did not re-register it. So it went automatically into the public domain at that time. Now, technically, Fleischer, if they can re-release it if they want to, especially if they have the original thing. But you then run into the fact that I don't think that Popeye as a character only recently entered the public domain within the last year or so.
Yes.
And I would not be surprised if some of the other characters in this, maybe Wimpy or Olive Oil or even Bluto, even though this is not technically Bluto, but it's Bluto's design. I would not be surprised if they may not be public domain just yet.
Fair.
So it's one of those weird things where it's like you can and you can't. But you can at least go and find this out at YouTube, and no one's really fighting you over it. So.
No, because it's open copyright and no one's fighting it.
No, everyone recognizes what's going on here. So.
Yes.
What do we got in info and stuff?
All right, so info and stuff. Let me get to that real fast. All right, so IMDb has a 7.6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, I could not find a score for Rotten Tomatoes for this. It's be able to watch on YouTube for free ever since it's open copyright. And again, I am very shocked. No director out there, screenwriter, whatever, has not tried to emulate this in some capacity, like in live action or doing a new animation of it or something like that. Again, copyright might be problems, but
wait till trivia.
Okay, got it.
I may have something to answer you there.
All right, physical media. You can buy this on Amazon Prime on DVD in a slim case for $14.95. If you are like me and Mark Shane were having a conversation earlier today about physical media, and if you are one of those diehard, I have to have the physical copy of this, you can go buy it on Amazon for less than $16. All right, so production was Fleischer Studio. Distributor was Paramount Pictures. Runtime was 16 minutes and 33 seconds. I would assume it's probably rated G, or it wasn't even rated back then. Release date was November 27th, 1936. And this was like a triple feature? Double feature?
No, it was. This was a short that would have been released. I don't know what movie it was released in front of, because that's how all these were done. But
yeah,
there are 3 films in the series, 3 shorts in the series. The other 2 were made and released later.
Oh, okay. Because I thought maybe like you had trivia, be like maybe you knew the film that was in front of it.
I don't, and that's
okay. That's fine.
That can be found sometimes, but a lot of times it depends.
Right. Okay, so getting back to where I was, box office. There's no box office information. Now, if you do have that kind of information just lying around, that what the theater was like back in the mid 30s, be like, love for it to hear it and like just send that information to us so we can, dig into that because that'd be really interesting. Home video release. The Popeye Color Special are in public domain, are widely available on home video and DVD. Often transfers from print are of poor quality. A full restored version of the original opening and closing titles is available on Popeye the Sailor Man 1933 through 1938 Volume 1 DVD set from Warner Brothers. And that's all I have.
All right. Getting into the summary then. Sindbad the Sailor lives on an island where he keeps loads of creatures that he has captured during his adventures, where he proclaims himself in song to be the greatest sailor, adventurer, and lover in the world, and the most remarkable, extraordinary fellow, a claim that is inadvertently challenged by Popeye as he innocently sings his usual song while sailing by within earshot of Sindbad's island with his girlfriend Olive Oil and friend J. Wellington Wimpy on board. Sindbad orders his huge rock, a large bird, to kidnap Olive Oil and wreck Popeye's ship, forcing him and Wimpy to swim to shore. Sindbad relishes making Olive his trophy wife, which is interrupted by Popeye's arrival. Sindbad then challenges the one-eyed sailor to a series of obstacles to prove his greatness, including fighting a rock and a two-headed giant named Bullock, and then Sindbad himself. Popeye makes short work of the bird and the giant, but Sindbad almost gets the best of him until Popeye, of course, produces his can of spinach, which gives him the power to soundly defeat Sindbad and proclaim himself the most remarkable, extraordinary fella. There is a dark running gag featuring the hamburger-loving Wimpy chasing after a duck on the island with a meat grinder, with the intention of grinding it up so he can fry it into his favorite dish. But the duck not only escapes, he also snatches away Wimpy's last burger in retaliation when he gives up. Getting into the trivia for this is the only Popeye cartoon ever nominated for an Academy Award.
Really?
This was the first Popeye cartoon made in Technicolor.
Okay.
Ray Harryhausen cites this film as a major influence on his work, The Seventh Voyage of Sindbad from 1958.
Okay.
So that answers your question there.
Oh, okay. It did inspire something.
Yes.
Okay.
This was the first of the Popeye Color Specials, a trilogy of Technicolor features that were released in the 1930s. These features were over 16 minutes each, 3 times as long as a regular Popeye cartoon, and so were considered big-budget adaptations, and were often billed in cinemas alongside and above the main feature. This film depicts a rock, a giant-sized bird. The origins of the rock legend are unclear. One theory suggests that it derives from depictions of Garuda, a divine eagle-like sunbird in Hindu mythology. Garuda was supposedly large enough to carry off an elephant. This was selected for preservation in the National Film Registry by the Library of Congress in 2004. Lastly, this uses the stereooptical or setback process. It has 2 different names.
Okay.
According to a Ray Pointer interview I found on FleischerStudios.com, this was a shorthand terminology for what were model set backgrounds. They were made as miniature stage sets using forced perspective. Instead of placing the cells over a flat painted background, the cells were shot upright with the camera looking through and with the model set working behind. This had a number of advantages since the lighting could be changed to go from day to a night scene using the same set, and because the background used real space, the camera could move towards the background as well as pan horizontally. This created a parallax effect you can see due to the separate planes of perspective.
Gotcha.
And that's all I've got for the trivia.
Nice.
What's your first like for this short?
I think I said short film, what have you. Nostalgia overload.
Oh, yeah.
Nostalgia just like oozing out of this thing. Because again, like I said in my non-spoiler section, this has been ingrained in my head since I was a child. I could almost quote it verbatim watching it. Because it was like literally it set me back to when I was a child watching this. And it was just such a delight watching it. And I was just so overjoyed watching this, realizing what I was watching. Because again, I'd probably not watched this in probably 30 odd years. Yeah. And it just brought me back to my childhood, and it was such a delight. And yeah, it was one of those moments where it's like, okay, I need my favorite, popcorn or whatever watching this, because this is just a gem. It's a diamond in the rough, to use more language that would be probably more appropriate for this kind of short. But either or, it's nostalgia overload. I love it. What is your first like?
This is a classic Popeye cartoon. I mean, granted, we know how Popeye cartoons go. They have a set formula. Popeye gets into a situation where he gets into a fight with Bluto or some other big person he's got to defeat. Popeye fights him. It's going pretty well for the most part, but eventually Popeye does get, the snot whipped out of him. And then Popeye pulls out his power-up of spinach, chews it down. You see a power plant in his bicep or some other imagery to denote that it's now powerful. And then Popeye kicks booty throughout the rest of the cartoon.
Or in his case, punches booty.
Yeah, punches booty.
Yeah.
And that's basically what this is. At the same time, there's more to it. I mean, this starts off with a musical song being sung by basically Bluto. I mean, it's Sindbad, yes, but they use Bluto's design. They use Bluto's voice actor. It's Bluto. And of course, all singing by himself. And it does set up everything because you see the lions that Popeye will have to face. You see the Bula. You see the giant bird.
Oh, yeah.
All these things. And you're sitting there going, okay, yeah, those things aren't gonna last long. And the Bula's not gonna last long. And the giant bird is not going to last long either.
No.
We know this going into it. That doesn't matter. Because this is still like, we're going to have fun with this. And it's, with it going longer, we're able to get in a couple other gags. It's just classic Popeye fun. So, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. I just like that this is full-on, undistilled Popeye the Sailor.
Oh, okay.
It's the experience I wanted going into it. And and I will tell you this, the reason this is my first like is because this is the basis for my others.
Oh, okay.
Everything else builds on this.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
So what's your second like?
My second like, as I wrote it, animation, like the animation's groundbreaking. The fact that they used a technique where they shot a 3D model. Again, this is the 1930s, so there was no computer animation. This is this is all hand drawn, hand created, kind of props. So they shot a prop landscape, shot it, and I don't know if they back projected it or not with the film.
The way the illustration I saw was you had the model in the back. You had what looked like a frame that the cells sat in.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you had the camera.
Yeah, exactly.
So you would light the model. That would provide the light for the cells.
Exactly.
And then depending on how you moved the cells in relation to the model, that would change how things work.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like watching this.
And it's fully horizontal. It's not vertical in any way.
Yeah.
I'm saying that because this is going to sound like Disney's... I don't remember what they called it, but they had a process very similar to this, but it was all flat, and it took 4 people to operate.
Oh, yeah,
and it was shot downward.
Yes.
So this could be done by one person.
Yeah, because the way they shot it, because it'd be like I think I saw a short about it once, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. Because it'd be like, I saw it, and I was like, wait, I recognize that.
Yeah.
But the fact to be like, you watch it, and the background goes with the character.
Yeah.
It's not like just you have a static shot of a background, and like, what is that? The multiplane camera.
Yeah, multiplane camera. That's what I couldn't think of that
Disney did. And they still use it until I think Beauty and the Beast. They use that one of the final times they used it. But the way they shot this is more you have the characters moving and the backgrounds moving at the exact same time. So it's just phenomenal. I was like, this was made in the 30s, the mid 30s.
Yeah.
And they're using Technicolor the first time. Be like, this is not far off from, the Merry Melodies or whatever. It's in that same era. And
From the... I've been watching a History of Looney Tunes documentary on YouTube, which honestly, y'all should go watch. It's good.
Yeah.
But this would have been around the time Porky Pig was being introduced.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, then he was the first Looney Tune that we would recognize today.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, just like the amount of animation, the way they did it, the fact that they had a background plate, a foreground, and then your animation cells right there, and it's all moving, is phenomenal how they did this.
Yeah.
And I'm just I'm spellbound like watching this, because again, it's like, oh, this is cool. And then as an adult, as a reviewer, a lover of animation, I'm just sitting there like, oh my gosh, this is how they did this.
Yeah.
And it's phenomenal. So yes, high praise for the animation in this. This is so good.
I'm going to jump off on that because with my second because it literally is this new technique they've come up with. The stereo optical, I think they call it.
Yeah, that's what a stereo optical.
I didn't notice it at first when I was watching this, because when I first saw this a year ago, I knew nothing about the section. I'm just enjoying it, going, it's a color Popeye cartoon that's 3 times the length. I knew that.
Yeah.
And I'm watching it, and it's like, okay, yeah, this is good. It's not even crossing my mind.
Yes.
That some of these backgrounds are slightly different until I watched it again, without knowing that it was about the stereo optical, because I don't remember why I watched it again. I guess I was trying to find more. It was when I put it on the list, and I was trying to find a good copy of this to put on there, because if you can search for this in like a couple places, and they've got a lot of bad transfers.
Oh yeah.
The one we watched is actually a very good transfer.
Yeah.
But you know it's a bad transfer if it jumps into through the opening sequence. If it starts jumping in weirdly through the opening sequence, you'll find a different one. If it plays smoothly like it's supposed to, that's the one to go with. But I'm watching it and I realize, wait a minute, that's parallaxing. That the background is moving at a different speed from the foreground. They weren't doing that really in the 30s. They weren't really doing that in the 40s. And I'm watching and I realize, that's 3-dimensional. They couldn't do 3-dimensional. There was no computers back then. How did they do this 3-dimensionally? And of course, that's when I looked it up to find out how they did this 3-dimensionally. And realized, okay, yeah, I kind of knew it had to be a model, but I couldn't think of how you would do this with a model and then have the cell animation on top of it. I could kind of see it, but I couldn't make it work in my mind because this is old analog techniques. Everything's physical. They didn't really have a way to do even a standard composite shot, really, like we do nowadays.
Yes.
Like it's so easy to do nowadays. They really even couldn't do that. So I'm watching this going, how did you do this? Did you take pictures and use that photos and use that? But no, you couldn't have done that. The photos at the time were not that good. How did y'all do this? And I looked it up and go, okay, yeah, you got a model. You do have a model back there, and you've got this cool technique where you've got this camera that can move parallel with that, and you can put the cells in front of it and use the model as a background. Okay, that is cool. I love this. This is awesome. And the more I watch it, because I watched this a couple times, and then I took a break because I knew we were going to be doing this, and I wanted to go into, as always, I try to go into what we're watching fresh, or as fresh as I can.
Of course.
And I had taken a break so I could get a fresh viewing this week. And I'm watching it this week, and I realize Sindbad just walked into that cave. He walked into the cave, the 3-dimensional cave.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
And so, like, even
because it's a smooth cutoff as he goes in. It's like, good. Kudos to you guys for figuring out where to cut the cells for each frame as he goes into the cave.
Exactly. Like even to expound upon that, you find that when Popeye walks into the cave, you see him walking through the 3D model.
Yeah, new 3D model. Yeah,
yeah, the 3D model. It's like, oh my, it's probably made in clay, but the same thing. Yeah,
it's probably the same one, just dark.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like, okay, that's cool. And then there's earlier in that scene, he's when he talks about how he stared at some snakes and made them faint or whatever, and there's this treasure box full of diamonds. The diamonds are 3-dimensional objects.
They are.
He sticks his hand in there, and they had to animate some sparkly things to fall in there, but it matched exactly the same colors. It's
precision animation.
Precision animation. I'm going, what the? Y'all are just showing off. Y'all are just showing off now. The fact that television forced these amazing animators at this time to have to act like that in the 50s and 60s, when people started devaluing animation as a form of entertainment, pisses me off even more now. Because it's like, do y'all not see this? This is a work of art that y'all are acting like it doesn't matter. We talk about like the Miyazaki stuff, how every one of those is an amazing film that should do far better in the public space. We've watched a ton of great films. Part of the whole reason for this podcast is that we're trying to promote animation as a form of entertainment for people of all ages. It's not just for kids, and it's not just meant for comedy. And I look at stuff like this and go, how are y'all not amazed? How is this not the spectacle? This should be, you talk around the same time. I think a couple years before this, we had the original King Kong.
We did.
And you read what people were saying about it, how lifelike King Kong was at the time. And we look at it and go, what are y'all smoking?
Yeah.
And the reason they're saying this is because they can see the fur moving. And it's like, that's where the animator had to press to move the arm for each frame. We all know that. I'm saying, y'all are looking at that and saying how amazing that is, and you're not seeing this?
So
this is far more amazing to me than the King Kong effects.
So you're saying like back in the 1936, people were panning this?
I don't know if they were then. I'm thinking, looking back at it now, it's like, please tell me. People in general look down at animation.
Yeah, they do now.
And they don't even think.
Then
they look at, and admittedly, they look at King Kong and go, and nowadays and go, oh, that looks so cheesy and so weak. It's like, but you got to understand the context. You got to understand the context here. This was movie magic. There were people at Disney and at Warner Brothers who watched this film, I guarantee it, and were going, how did they do that? We can't do that. How did they do that? I guarantee it. And it's things looking at that and looking how animation was treated going forward that make me mad. That's mostly what I'm getting at.
Fair.
But but to me, one of the moments in here that I feel really exemplifies the technique they used here was with the rock taking off, the giant bird taking off.
Yes.
That whole sequence, feels like it's like a minute, and the bird has a hard time getting airborne. But watching that, it's like, when watching that model as it goes past me, I'm watching for a cut. I'm watching for a cut in that thing, because it's like, there's no way they built the model this big. There's no way they built the model a bit this big. They have to cut it somewhere and edit it in such a way where they could make it longer. And it's like, I can't find the cut. If it's here, I can't find it. They either really built this thing out, or they're really good at editing by hand with scissors. I don't know which. And I'm watching this and going, oh man. You peasants who complain about things such as She-Hulk's animation being bad in that TV show. Granted, it's not great. Or any other weird thing that it doesn't work like exactly.
Yeah.
Y'all need to understand. When I'm saying something like that where it's not good, it's because they have no excuse. But y'all, and it really does feel like when people who don't really pay attention to animation and don't understand what goes into it are saying this, like, y'all are just saying it because it doesn't look real. It's not supposed to look real. Sorry, I'm getting off on a weird tangent. This whole I keep wanting to say multiplane, but the whole stereo optical technique in this is so amazing. I kind of want to go and find more times they use this, because I imagine this also has to be terribly expensive.
Oh yeah,
to produce these for just one-off videos. So I'm curious if this mountain ever got used elsewhere.
Oh, okay. So just for clarification, like part of your point was
I got off on a tangent.
Just fair to just clarification what you said, that people then and now would probably view it's like, oh, it's just a cartoon, and like
cartoons are for kids.
Cartoons are for kids, and
like don't value it.
Yeah. And be like, like Drew said, be like, here at the Cellcast, we are trying to more educate people. It's like, hey, cartoons are more than what you expect. So, again, we've reviewed, like at this point, hundreds of movies at this point.
Both the most amazing films we've ever seen and the worst garbage that's out there.
Fair. So, it's just like, like, even though be like, there might be a stereotype of animation and, oh, it's just for kids. And be like, and they look down upon adults who watch cartoons, but it's like, it's the fact to be like, maybe those adults appreciate cartoons for what they are.
Yeah.
So that's okay. So I was trying to more for clarification what we were saying.
And I do want to point this out. There is at least some love of animation for older adults, because have you ever heard of the video game Cuphead?
Yes.
They actually replicate this technique in a level.
Oh, okay.
It's more up to date and digital, but I mean, it's still a 3D model that they did the same way. So.
Oh, okay. Cool. So yeah, I be like most people who listen to us are fans of animation, and it's just more like we are trying to just bring the joy of animation to others who may or may view it as, oh, it's just for kids. But the
cartoons aren't just for kids. Yeah, and we all know, and those of us. Most of the people listen to this, I hope, know that. Yeah. But unfortunately, there's a lot of people out. Let's face it, the Academy Awards are probably going to K-pop Demon Hunters this year, I'm guessing. Probably. And probably because, that's the one everyone's talking about. Not necessarily because it's a good film. I love the film. It's a great film.
Yeah, it's a fantastic film.
But I guarantee you it's not getting, assuming it wins the Academy Award, which I assume it's going to, most of the people who voted for it, they're not voting for it because it's an amazing film. They're voting for it because it's the one they kept hearing about.
Right. And be like, just to be fair, most films that are nominated is because, oh my gosh, did you hear about this film? Yeah. Or it made some kind of like big buzz somewhere and like no one watched it, but it made some buzz somewhere. It gave the right buzzword or whatever. But either or.
Yeah, either way. What's your third like?
All right, so my third like is actually the perspective they use. Because like animation perspective. So if you don't know, it's like when you're drawing something, you want to make it look like it's either going away from you or coming towards you. Be like, you have to use perspective. And be like, there are certain techniques you can use to do perspective. And what I think of in this scene in particular is when I think it's the big bird, Rock.
Yeah, the Rock.
The Rock, not Dwayne Johnson, the Rock, but the Rock, the bird,
and not Big Bird.
Yes, and so this, Rock is flying away from the screen, from the perspective of our audience, with Popeye to this volcano, right?
Yeah, it's a
volcano. Be like flies into the distance.
Yeah, flies into the distance for the volcano. Yeah. Now that I've realized what you're talking about.
Yeah. So. Like, that was shot amazingly because there again, no computer graphics, no nothing. It's all like traditional animation, and it's done very well. I think this is maybe shot on 2s, 3s, maybe.
I don't know. I'll be honest.
I don't know, but
my gut says it was actually at least part parts of it were maybe shot in ones, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's twos.
Yeah,
but this is also like the golden age of animation. They probably did everything on ones just because they could.
Yeah, probably shot on ones, but just like the way they were able to make it believable enough to where you see Rock fly into the distance along with Popeye waving his arms, still being animated up to the point where they go into the volcano. It's just more like it's the use of perspective and the way they, because most of them be like, you would see it would kind of blur out and they could, because you still see it. It's still in frame.
Yeah.
It's not they're pulling a frame trick or anything. It's just the way they use perspective in this is so phenomenal.
It's a single shot
from
the moment the Rock picks up Popeye, flies into the volcano, flies into the background where the volcano is. You see a dot running towards the camera. He pops back up on screen. We see that it's Popeye, and he's holding a giant fried turkey that's obviously supposed to be the Rock as and for the reveal of the joke. It's all one shot.
Yeah.
There's no cutaway so we can hide the we don't have to animate the transition.
Yeah.
It's all one shot.
Because that's what I admire about older animation, because most of the time they didn't use what we do modern editing and be like, oh, we're going to cut away just where we don't have to do that. Oh, we're going to, use less animation on this, because they didn't have that back in the 1930s to do this. Because this was the pioneer years of animation. Be like, Snow White was what, 1938?
I think so.
Yeah, 1938. And it's like, just think about that for 3 seconds. But like, this was shot on a soundstage with a moving background, a 3D background, a cell plate, a cell animation where we get cell from.
Yeah.
And like, this is all done. And then you're using force perspective to see that bird fly into the distance fully animated, and then Popeye brings it back fully animated.
Yeah.
And they don't use trickery. It's just like what they had, they used. And I admire that.
Like, the only trickery is there's like a 3-second gap where Popeye is obviously supposed to be running up the hill that they're all standing on. So he's off screen for like a second.
Yeah.
So it goes from being, this obvious dot that you can't make out to the fully animated Popeye. But still, that's not anything to sneeze
also
at.
Perspective.
That's also perspective. That's because Popeye has to run up the hill, and you don't want to change the camera because that ruins the one take shot. So
exactly,
they could have easily had the camera switch and follow Popeye up the through the water and up onto land, but that's not what they did.
So I appreciate this movie for what it did, for what it was able to do back in the 1930s, and I kind of wish they would do that nowadays, but it's too expensive.
Yeah, it's probably way too expensive.
It's very expensive nowadays.
In this method, there are probably things you could do digitally that would do the same thing.
Oh yeah.
Because you could build a model and then do like some, it's not Steadicam, but where it tracks wherever you move the camera digitally, or camera on the model, it will move that way on the computer.
Yeah,
you could probably something like that, but doing it fully cell animated you're not going to see that.
Yeah, no,
especially this type in that again.
It's a lost art. Yeah. So that is my third like. What is your third like?
My third like on this, there are so many places in this film where, oh man, there's just so many fun little sight gags. Like when Popeye is singing on the boat and he's leaned in on the ship's wheel, and every time the handle should be hitting his pipe, it pops up and you hear the musical sound effect. And he keeps going without stopping. That's a fun. The whole bit with Wimpy chasing the duck with the meat grinder. Even though I'm sitting there going, Wimpy,
that was hysterical.
That's you're gonna have to do more than just rub that meat grinder against the duck's butt to get him to go through all that. But him chasing that thing all and just showing up and randomly later on, it's like, okay, that's fun to watch. And then there's some the way they do these Popeye shorts. I swear they must have done the animation first and then did the voice acting later. And sometimes sometimes Popeye is saying lines that feel like they were written and it was animated. Sometimes it feels like Jack Mercer, is that the actor's name? Jack Mercer is just watching what's on screen and ad-libbing.
Oh, probably.
And yeah, you can't see Popeye's mouth move, but he's Popeye. He doesn't, he can, he's all muttering under his breath. And there's that part there where he's reading the sign. It's like, this is the home of Sindbad the sailor. Hesoever who goeth Inneth never cometh outeth again, or whatever it was. And he says, well, here I go with Inneth. It's like these little small bits in the background. It's like, that's not scripted. There's no way somebody scripted that. That is what somebody said. That's what the actor said while watching this going, and they left it in there. Probably. And they do this all the stinking time.
True.
But so yeah, I just appreciate all these the little gags throughout this.
Fair.
So yeah, the little gags is is my third like for this. Yeah. But as good as this is, we do need to touch on things we don't like.
Sure.
What's the first thing you don't like?
My first is again, this is a nitpick. It's more of it's again, simplified story. And again, it's not a knock against the short. It's not. And that's just the way they did things. Everything was very simple. It wasn't overly complicated. I like personally, if they were to do a full length one,
they'd have to do more if it was a full length movie.
Yeah, but for what it is, it's done incredibly well. It's a simple story.
And admittedly, here in the 30s, it is more gag based.
Oh yeah, easy
cartoons than actually story based. You do get some more story based stuff when you get into the 40s with most of the Looney Tunes stuff that we're more familiar with.
Oh yeah.
But at this point, it was just like the story is an excuse to go from gag to gag.
Oh, great.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're good. Be like, it was just. This wasn't be like this. Like my first, it's like it's not going to be taking long. It's more be like it's a simplified story. That's what they were doing back in the day, because again, it's a short format. You don't have a lot of time to tell a story, and they tell a story very well. It's just a short story. It's a short, very simplified story. Bad guy pops in. Bad guy wants something. Bad guy kidnaps whatever object or person he desires, and then our hero shows up and saves the day. End of story.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. And again, it's just a simple story, and it's not a knock against story. It's just a simple story. What is your first dislike?
As much as we talked about the stereo optical stuff and how much we liked it, there's one moment. There's one part that made my dislikes. That is directly because of the stereo optical process.
Okay.
And admittedly, this is the first film. This is actually the second cartoon, from my understanding, that they use this with. But the problem you run into with a 3D background and 2D characters is that they look like 2D character, like paper cutouts on a 3D background.
They do.
For most of this, it's fine.
Yeah.
Because they actually colored the model so that the colors matched what was being used in the cell animation.
Yeah.
So it blends in fairly well. But when Popeye's going through the cave and to growl at the lions, it is painfully obvious that is 2D drawings on a 3D background.
Yes.
It is painfully obvious, and it really does kind of feel like paper cut. It feels it's like the magic is almost dropped in that moment. I don't know if this is like they had to learn from this, and so they didn't try to do it on a dark background maybe after this, or maybe it's only showing off to me because I'm looking for this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because, but yeah, during the cave scene, Popeye and those lions do just look like they're sitting on, they're just paper cutouts sitting on a 3D background. So.
Fair.
What's your second dislike?
My second dislike would be so Sindbad is telling his tale to, aka his captive audience, the animals and the creatures. He's held in captivity on his island, and he's boasting about how rough and tough he is, that kind of stuff. So you're telling this to a captive audience of animals you have as prisoners or trophies or whatever, and you're just telling that to them. That's it. Again, I get it.
Yeah.
He's trying to. He's
going around and boasting.
He's boasting about what he's done. Be like, oh, I have captured all of these, and they quiver in fear because of me. Mm-hmm. And it's just more like it was more. It's like it's a great scene. Do not get me wrong. I'm not bashing the movie at all. This short at all. It's just more like, oh, okay. So you're saying this to your aka your captive audience to boast about your successes and everything fears me because because you got them captured and they're chained to a rock and they can't get away, so they're gonna be scared of you. Now if that animal kind of got away from it, it's like because Popeye shows up and be like kind of becomes the master of the island, and I don't know what he does with the animals, but that's neither here or there. But it's like I thought about that and I was like, wait a minute. So you're telling this to a bunch of animals you captured, and you boast to do you both do this every day, bro? Be like, do you go around boasting because you're the only person on this island allegedly, and you go every day? That's your routine to go about and scare your poor little animals, and to boast how you're to boost your ego to a bunch of animals. It's like that'd be a sad existence, bro. Just saying. Either or, again, that's a little nitpick. So that's my second dislike. What's your second?
My second dislike is, with this being such a simplified story, there are moments in here that feel like they're there for filler.
Yeah. Okay.
Like we get this elongated opening with showing the cast of characters. It's like I don't remember any other cartoon I've ever watched where they filled up some cells with just a couple of with just a cast list basically, and it's not even so and so playing so and so. It's Popeye is the Sailor Man and Bula the two-headed giant, Sindbad the most remarkable fellow, or stuff like that.
Exactly.
It's like that's not necessary and could be cut. At the same time, they were trying to fill up apparently 3 reels of film, so maybe they were buff. They were. That's the only way they could figure out how to buffer that bit of footage in. And there's a couple other moments where it feels like they're holding on, like this gag a little too long. Okay. Or the scene a little too long.
Yeah. So you're telling me that they even put even filler in a short that's 16 minutes long?
I don't know another word for it.
I know. I'm just picking on you.
Yeah, it's just trying to figure out. It's just I'm looking at it and going, there's just these moments where it's holding. Part of it is differences in editing styles over the years, but I'm also just, like I said, looking at it and going, y'all were trying to fill up 3 reels of film completely, weren't you? That's a lot. Because that has to come into the thought process at some point. It's like possibly you probably have to use up all of, if you're going to take 3 reels of film, you got to use all 3 reels of film. You can't just stop it halfway through a reel. So I wonder if that's part of it. But there's just some spots. My second dislike is that there's just some spots where it just holds it weirdly for a little bit of time. That feels like in a modern day, in modern editing techniques, you would probably cut it to make it a little bit more, not streamlined, but a little more focused. Or maybe you might go in and put another gag here, and maybe they just it just didn't work where they could do it that way. I don't know.
Fair.
But so yeah, there's, like I said, my second dislike is there's filler, basically.
Okay.
Not a lot of filler, but there's filler. What's your third dislike?
I don't have one. Do you have one?
Yes and no. This is one of those, when you're looking at something that's this old and probably was not as valued as it should have been over the years, because you're going to run into stuff with like weird cuts where they lost some cells, weird, like there's dirt specks in the transfer and all this stuff. And I'm guessing that the transfer that we watched from is not even it's probably a copy from a copy of a copy of a copy of the master. It's probably
Possibly.
not a straight remastering from the original film masters.
Yeah.
Because we did not go out of our way to find any of the newest transfers of this.
Fair.
So there is just some spots here in the transfer on this one that it just feels like it's a little grungy, a little. That's a shame that 50 years ago we probably lost the little bit of transition there from the bottom of the mountain to the top of the mountain, because you could tell it's a cut because the music cuts too. So it's not an intended cut from the directors. It broke in the machine, and this was the only way we could fix it. So, yeah, there's that in this. And
gotcha.
that's a nitpick. That's a fact of life when you're looking at something that's this old that you just have to deal with. So and mostly it's just me looking and going, it's a shame that we don't have a perfect version of this anymore. That there's elements of this that are lost to time.
Fair.
So, yeah, that's my third dislike. Is it's old, and because of that, we're missing things that were originally there.
Yeah. Now, I think what would be cool, it'd be like if you could find the original masters of this. I don't know if they still exist. They could have been burned up in a fire at some point.
See, that's the thing. The Fleischer Studios that's around now, which is not the original Fleischer Studios, but is founded by like the granddaughter of Max Fleischer, I believe.
Yeah.
They're trying right now to do remasters of all their old stuff, all the Superman stuff, all the Betty Boop stuff, Inkwell stuff, and this. And the Popeye stuff, of course. Yeah,
they, like I said in info and stuff, be like there is a remastered version of this on DVD.
So
but it's probably very expensive at this point to get.
But when you're looking at stuff that's this old, you've got to pull to get a complete version. You may have to pull from multiple sources. Yeah, I watched a video where they were doing that, and ironically it was with the Wizard of Oz that they were showing it, but I also saw another one that where they did some of the old Fleischer stuff with the Inkwell clown. I can't think of the clown's name, and they just show us like, we had to pull from like multiple different sources because the master would be missing stuff, this copy that somebody happened to have was missing stuff. Because, as it's being used, and celluloid is it's made of gunpowder.
Yes.
It's not going to last. It's aging. All of it's aging as we speak. And heaven help you if it starts smelling like vinegar, because then it's just dead. But there could be a more complete version of this out there. It may be able to be completed at a later date. The version that we may go and see may be made up of maybe a much more complete version. But yeah, what we have now is, unfortunately, this is what we've got.
Yeah, exactly.
From what we were able to watch.
And
Artsy Steph says in the chat, hold up, cells are made of what now? I'm not talking about the animation cells. Yeah. I'm talking about the film stock.
Film stock is made of gunpowder.
That stuff is literally, that formula is literally gunpowder.
Yeah.
It's just done in a different way.
It's extremely flammable.
Yeah, it's very flammable. That's why they have to store it in salt mines. Like, all of Star Trek The Next Generation, all of those film that they shot for that was stored in a salt mine in Kansas.
Really?
Yeah. Like at the where it wouldn't have any humidity, it would last as long as possible.
Yeah.
It's away from anything that would cause a fire.
Right.
Interesting.
So ever since we have done our likes, we have done our dislikes, and now we get into
Ratings.
our ratings. So what do you are rating this, Drew? I know where
From a
mine
historical perspective, this is a very, very important film. And I do enjoy it quite a lot, primarily because of primarily because it's a classic Popeye cartoon.
Fair.
Now, if we're talking about if I'm being honest, there are other good Popeye cartoons. There are other good animated shorts that I would consider to be better than this from a story writing perspective, from a maybe not as much from an animation perspective.
Okay.
But from a general enjoyment perspective, I think there's some better ones. And admittedly, I'm kind of dragging this out because I'm trying to actually nail it down to a number. Because I kind of didn't think about I was going to have to rate this until just now.
So I put you on the spot.
Kind of.
Even though you knew it was coming.
I knew it was coming. We've been doing this for 7 years. I ought to know this is coming by now. I'm going to give it 7.5. I want to rate it higher to a degree because of how important it is and how technically well done it is.
Yeah.
But when you get right down to it, it is a a thin story. There is, like I said, there's filler. Like you said, it's very simplified. There are cartoons that will come out not 10 years after this that are much more, that the comedy hits better. The story is much better written. The only real difference is the backgrounds are not 3D.
No.
But other than that, the cell animation is better. It's good. It's a classic. I think everyone should watch it. But if we're talking about on terms of my enjoyment scale, which to a degree is what I base my ratings on.
Fair.
7.5.
Okay, they're going to be like 7.5 is not.
It's good. It's good.
It's a good, solid score.
I feel like it deserves better, but I don't think I can give it better.
Well, it'd be like you could have went Roy's route and we gave it a 3.5.
I'm not Roy.
Fair. That's true. And I think at that point, I'd be flabbergasted. Okay, I've got to defend this film. Either or. So I'm going to give this a 9 because I am basing it solely on its animation, solely on the technical achievements they were able to accomplish with this film or this short in the mid 1930s, probably around mid 1935 when they made this, and it probably came out a year later or what have you, because this process took years to do this, because you have the like for every minute, I think for every second, like it takes how many frames?
24 frames.
24 frames per second. And be like having to do that for 16 minutes. Because believe me, having done animation in school, be like, it is hard. And be like, I appreciate animation beyond belief. That's why we do this show. But I mean, like, I appreciate this movie beyond, be like, there's the technical, the historical value of this, the nostalgia for it, how I have my reaction to it is just, I'm going to give it a 9 because it's one of those golden little nuggets of history that people need to go watch, even though it's public domain and people could do whatever they want with it now. But a part of me really wants someone to go out there and kind of recreate this with more modern technology.
Oh, I would love to see one of those reanimated YouTube videos.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Of this.
Yeah, because that would take like some skill to do that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think if someone out there that, does animation, because I'm not an animator. I draw, but I don't animate. Yeah, I would love to see someone do that someday. It'd be great. But yeah, I'm giving it a solid 9.
Alrighty. Well, that brings us to the end of our review of Popeye the Sailor meets Sindbad the Sailor. And now, after the bumpers, we're going back to a certain person who is vengeance, who is the night. We'll have to see who that is when we come back.
This podcast is a proud member of Culture Box. Whether you enjoy geeky reviews, comedy, or original fiction, you can open up the Culture Box and find something excellent for your soul. Point your web browser to culturebox.media.
Or go check out, as we jokingly were calling it in our chat earlier this morning for the Culture Box Media Network, our private chat, the Roy's Nerdy Friends Network. This week, we suggest checking out, in his defense, the Retro Rewind podcast. Every other week,
Roy.
you can join the Retro Rewind pod as they travel back 15 or more years along the entertainment space-time continuum in their mission to review movies and games, establishing what is still worth your time today. And you can expect fun banter and true insights from Paul, Francisco, and a rotating group of guest hosts who are all out of time. The Cellcast would also like to thank the following patrons: PaulJPowers.com,
Thanks, Paul.
The Monster Island Film Vault,
Nate.
Edwin Gonzalez,
Thanks.
and Artsy Stuff.
Thanks, RC.
If you would like to have your name shouted out on the show, special art from Jacob and uncut episodes, that is $5 on our Patreon. If you just want the shout out and maybe, I don't know, special exclusive reviews of Dragon Ball Daima and probably Dragon Ball Super later, you can do that at the $1 level.
Yes.
Or if you want all of that, plus
And more.
mostly both of those.
Yeah,
the 1
sure.
and the 5. And you want to also make us watch something within reason, we do still have one slot left for 2026 for our patron picks.
Yes.
So get on top of that and donate to us on Patreon for that. If for some reason you do not want to support us through Patreon, give us a private message, and we will get back to you and figure out a way to take care of that.
Yes.
The Cellcast we would like you to go to our Redbubble store and buy some merch from us, some stickers, some of different things, t-shirts, all of that kind of good stuff.
Yeah.
All of that can be found.
A mouse pad.
Technically, yes, you can get a mouse pad, but you can do all of that at our Redbubble store, which can be found. The link to it can be found in our Linktree links down in the description. So go check out that. If I can find the right buttons.
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am.
Duckman. Duckman. Duckman.
There is a song the good folks sing.
Did you say Duckman?
I did.
I wasn't sure if you said Duckman or Darkman.
Yeah, for the duck reference you used earlier.
Oh.
Yes.
Quack.
Exactly. At least it's not Batman trying to go over with a meat grinder. Anyways.
That is true, but both in one of these Batman episodes and in Popeye, we did see somebody knock over a tree and then use it as a bridge.
Oh, yeah, except he was a croc.
A killer croc.
Yeah.
Which, boy, do I have something funny to bring up on this one. Batman the Animated Series, we have returned to that.
Yay!
This was Sideshow, was the name of this episode. It first aired May 3rd, 1994. It's production episode 66, broadcast episode 67. It was written by Michael Reeves and Brent Stevens and directed by Boyd Kirkland. In this episode, en route to an upstate prison, Killer Croc escapes and leads Batman on a dangerous chase through the wilderness. After throwing Batman temporarily off his trail, the Reptile Man takes refuge with a group of retired circus freaks and convinces them to help him. When Batman arrives, Croc and the freaks band together to capture him. New cast for this episode, we've got Brad Garrett as Goliath. You know, the Raymond's brother.
Yes.
And the voice of Eeyore in the Christopher Robin movie.
Yeah, and a certain, what is it, Emperor's New Groove?
No, that's a different guy.
Oh, that's right, different guy. Never mind, scratch that. I didn't say that.
Whitby Hertford as Billy, Kenneth Mars as Richard, and Jo Beth Williams as both May and June. Trivia for this episode. This is based on the comic story from Detective Comics number 410 from April 1971, titled A Vow from the Grave, written by Denny O'Neil and art by Neil Adams and Dick Giordano. That story, however, did not feature Killer Croc, but Kano Wiggins, a death row escapee.
Okay.
This episode, along with The Demon's Quest Part 2, are the only 2 episodes in the series to take place completely outside of Gotham City. Killer Croc in this is quite correct. Crocodiles exert the strongest bite pressure of any member of the animal kingdom. This is the first appearance of Brad Garrett in the DCAU. He would go on to voice Lobo the Bounty Hunter and Bibbo Babowski on Superman the Animated Series. And lastly, Richard shares his name with King Richard III, the lead character of William Shakespeare's play of the same name.
Makes sense.
Both Richards are said to be rudely stamped, which means they are born hunchbacks. What are your thoughts on this episode?
Now, my thoughts on this, I think it's again, we are venturing back into the Batman animated series, which I was like, okay, yay, okay, good. We've had our little break with Outlaw Star, and you can go back and listen to our likes, and then turns into very dislikes at the very end of our review of that. But thankful back into Batman the Animated Series. I enjoy this because it's the animation's slightly different because this is going into a new series. I think this is part of a Batman and Robin: The New Adventures.
No, that technically starts next time.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh yeah, that's right. It's more.
It's because of when the production ended. This technically ended. This technically came out much later,
right?
But was produced back with the old stuff.
Oh, okay. So, animation's great. I love it. Great story. It's a Croc escape story. I often reminded of the episode where it's like the villains are talking about be like, oh, I did this, Batman, and Croc replies, I hit him with a rock.
Yeah, that
was a big rock.
That actually happens in this one.
Oh, that's right.
Because I was watching.
It does. Oh my gosh.
Killer Croc was running. Leading Batman through this chase.
Yeah.
And he jumps from this tree, and jumps from the train. Batman is knocked out for a short second, and Killer Croc picks up a big rock and throws it. So I am willing to say, even though there really is no chronological order for this, this episode happened before.
It did. Because
almost got him.
Technically, be like, I hit him with a rock.
It was a big rock.
It was a big rock, but he missed him by this much.
Missed it by that much.
Exactly. So I enjoy it because you do have, these circus performers who take him in, believe his masquerade and be like, oh, he's a victim just like they are. When he's a crook and he's a killer, and be like, they obviously come around to it very quickly, and they're turned the Batman side. And I think there's a very poignant moment at the very end where our the little boy who's got steel flippers, Billy, ask and be like, but you could have done this and this and this, be like, you escape from everything, be like, and he's like, son, this is who I am. This is who I am. I can't change who I am. And it's more that mentality. It's like, because these people left that life and has now gone on to seclusion to where they can be by themselves and they can be themselves. And the whole point is to be yourself. And this like shows that Killer Croc he's still, a villain. He's still a thief. He's still a killer. And be like a Croc can't change his scale, so he's not going to change. Be like he's going to make people believe it because he'd be like he's who he is. And I think the only way people can change is through a right relationship with Jesus Christ. And you can do everything you can to try to change, but that's not really going to happen. But that's my kind of a 2 cents on this episode. I love it. It's a great episode, and it's done very well. I love the train chase, the fight on top of the train, the skirmish through the woods. Batman's tracking him, and Killer Croc he got a blow dart, or he got shot by a sedative, and it's slowly over time it started to take effect. And I really enjoy that when they really pace that out with the episode and show that it is affecting him. Batman even says himself, be like, it's going to slow you down. And I really enjoyed this episode. It's really well done. It's got a great message in it. And Crocs don't change their scales.
Exactly.
Yes. What thoughts?
This is a fun episode. It is a little more straightforward, I think, than I would have preferred. I would have liked Killer Croc maybe to have played more into the sympathies of the Freak Show group to the point where maybe they did not want to help capture him at the end. Right. And maybe they were getting in Batman's way, even though they understood, and maybe at the last minute they decide, okay, yeah, we got to catch Killer Croc. Yeah, we can't let him get away. He's not like he's like us, but he's not like us. Yeah. He has crimes he has to pay for. I kind of wish they'd have done that more than because they kind of do that very shortly, but then once they realize, oh yeah, this guy has done a lot. He's not the lie he told us is not holding water. We'll go ahead and help Batman catch the guy, to the point where Billy helps Batman get into the mill through a hole he happened to know about. And I'm sitting there going, Billy, don't be a hero. If y'all know what that reference is. Yes. But yeah, otherwise this is almost a very straightforward episode. It feels like it's meant to be asking, like, how easy is it for somebody to change? But I don't feel like they spend enough time on that subject to let it work its way through. Fair. I think it's a little too focused on Batman's initial chase of Killer Croc to the Freak's house. Yeah. And then focus too much on Batman capturing Killer Croc at the end. It feels like what should have been the meat of the story was only 5 minutes long, and it really should have been what the whole story was about. So
fair.
Yeah, that's my 2 cents on this episode.
That is fair.
Next episode.
Yes.
A Bullet for Bullock.
Oh, yeah.
First aired September 14th, 1995, over a year from when the last episode aired. It was production episode 67, broadcast episode 84. It was written by Michael Reeves and directed by Frank Parr. Synopsis for this one. Someone has put a hit out on Gotham's toughest cop, Harvey Bullock. After surviving several near misses, Bullock realizes he has no choice but to reluctantly ask Batman to help him discover who is behind the murder attempts. During their investigation, Bullock learns that his gruff and mean-spirited manner has created enemies in the unlikeliest of people. New cast for this one, we got Greg Berger as Vinny the Shark and Rosie. Leanne Schreimer as Officer Renee Montoya, and Jeffrey Jones as Nivens. Trivia for this one. This episode won an Emmy Award for Outstanding Musical Direction and Composition. There is so much jazz in this episode.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
It's good. Don't get me wrong, but there is so much big band jazz in this. This episode is based on the October 1992 comic story of the same name from Detective Comics number 651 by Chuck Dixon and Graham Nolan. Vinny the Shark was modeled after actor Lee Marvin, and Bullock's landlord Nivens is likely named after the actor David Niven, who sported a mustache similar to that seen on this character.
Ah, gotcha.
So, this is, I feel, is a much better... Oh, and there's one other big piece of trivia. This technically starts the adventures of Batman and Robin.
Yes.
So, for those who don't know, the first quote-unquote 2 seasons, depending on how you read it, is just called Batman the Animated Series. It literally was... They didn't even have a title screen originally. It was just, here's Batman, and then people just called it Batman the Animated Series. It then, at this point, switched to The Adventures of Batman and Robin, which I'm assuming is supposed to have Robin in it more often. But Robin's not in this episode.
Yeah.
And it will keep this name all the way through season 3. When we get to season 4, which is even shorter, I think it's just called Batman. Or The Adventures of Batman. So... Yes, we do have a new opening sequence. I don't like it as much as I like the original.
Yeah, agreed.
It's because it's a clip show title sequence.
And the music isn't as iconic as the original.
Exactly. So, what are your thoughts on this episode?
I'm still harkening back to our previous episode. This episode is really good. Yeah, it's really good because it's more of the mystery, like... Who's doing it? Obviously, be like, if you're paying attention, you know what's happening. I'll be like, obviously.
Well, I didn't assume it was who it was at the beginning. I saw the character and I did think, okay, this character has a lot of detail in him that a side character probably shouldn't have.
Right.
But I wasn't sure if that was a red herring or not. So, admittedly, go with your Scooby-Doo's tropes on this one because it is the Scooby-Doo trope.
Oh yeah.
I mean, admittedly, if I've been paying attention and noticed that the hood on the guy in the first shot in the mirror had that same mustache.
Yeah, so it was very similar because me and my wife, because we were trying to figure out it's like most of it like on a Saturday we're like, it's like, oh no, this was Friday. This was Friday. You know, we canceled the show for reasons.
Pushed it back anyway.
Pushed it back for 24 hours. So it's like, oh yeah, let's watch a movie. And I knew she was tired, so we just put on an episode of Dateline, which she loves Dateline. I love Dateline for various reasons. And episode goes on, there's a bombing, someone dies, and they mention a character in the very beginning. You're like, yep, he's the guy. Because if you watch and listen to true crime more often than not, you're going to figure out who did it very early on. And I was right. Yeah, it was the guy. But it's just more that observation to me anyway. It was like, okay, that's the guy that's going out. Because anyway, it'd be like a good storyteller, they're going to try to point out as best as they can to, okay, this is the direction our story's going to go. Are you going to follow this or are you going to go somewhere else? Because they do misdirections all the time with stories. But I enjoy this one. It's good because, again, it's Harvey Bullock.
Yeah.
And it'd be
it's really more of a Bullock story.
Yes.
Because it's more focused on him than it is Batman or who they're trying to find. It's look at this man that almost nobody seems to like.
Yeah.
Who...
And he's the unexpected villain of it, which I enjoy. It's the fact that like Batman kind of throws himself into this case that be like Harvey Bullock. He knows Harvey enough to where Harvey's not going to take him seriously enough, and Batman's trying to save his skin because he knows he's going to get whacked.
Oh yeah,
because he's not going to be careful enough. So Batman's trying to watch out for him, even though he doesn't like Harvey Dent.
Does anybody, even Renee Montoya, his partner in this, doesn't like him? I mean, at one point she says, you don't look so good. I mean, you don't look as good as you normally look.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, yeah, you don't think he looks good either normally.
True.
because nobody gets along with Bullock because he's a pain in the butt. And apparently he doesn't take good care of his apartment either.
No, good night. And the conclusion of it, it's one of the fellow tenants just wants his apartment because apparently it's valuable enough.
I don't know if another tenant could technically get his apartment. I kind of assumed Nivens was the landlord.
That could be it too.
Because the kind of stuff he was bringing up is the kind of stuff you would expect a landlord to be complaining
that could
about.
be it too.
But at the same time, considering how
he wants his apartment.
I don't know how the rent controlled system is set up. But I'm sitting here watching, going, if you are the landlord, you could evict him at any time.
Yeah. So
all you gotta do is just give him enough time to move out.
That is true. Because my thought is like, okay, because obviously like what he says does sound like a landlord, but the fact that he wants the apartment because it has value behind it, because it's whatever, and it's very valuable. Maybe he is the landlord, but he can't kick.
Whatever reason, he can't kick him out.
He can't kick him out because either A, he's a cop, or B, be like, there's rent control or whatever. So he can't kick him out. So be like, I could scare him enough to get him to run off, or he can just bite the bullet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great little mystery. It's like, it's okay, who did it? Where's our story leading? Because I think RC Step pointed out, because like if you watch enough Law and Order, you just be like, you start following the clues. What's the game in here? Like,
that's why I had to take a break from reading Agatha Christie's Poirot books, because after a while I got to a point where I was reading the descriptions of all the people involved and went, that's the murderer. The murder hasn't happened yet, but that's the murderer. The one that throws you is Murder on the Orient Express, because they're all the murderer.
Yes.
But I already knew that going into that book, so it's like, well, none of that's a surprise.
Exactly.
Spoiler alerts for a 100-year-old book.
But overall, I'll be like, I enjoyed the episode. I really did, and it's really good. So
I think that's it for tonight.
I think so.
Next week, along with, and I didn't mention this earlier, next week we are going to be watching The Pagemaster for the movie, and the episodes are going to be Trial and Avatar.
Yes.
Jumping back to Patreon, we do have a couple of reviews to read, or comments to read from a certain Marchand. He mentions the DC stuff's disappearing from HBO Max is why you guys need to invest more in physical media.
Fair.
He did invest in the physical media. I didn't.
Yeah, and plus I have a relative who has most of those films. I can probably just drive down there for a weekend, pick some up, and watch them. Admittedly,
after the move, I don't want to I don't want to have to move a ton of stuff ever again.
That is fair.
He says all your top episodes are at least 4 years old. Well, I mean, they've been they've been out there for a while, so if I'd have gone down farther, I may have come up with some more newer stuff, but who knows? Oh, and he says, and I'm not in any of them. How did I lose that numbers game? I don't know.
Yeah. How did you?
Why is none of our... I know why. You just said it. All the episodes are from 4 years ago. We hadn't talked to you at that point.
That is true.
And that's pretty much it for what he commented on for that episode. Let me check the Tree of Might episode. I don't have anything on that one. So.
All right.
That brings us to the end of the episode. If you would want to have your comments read on the show, review us where you find us. Talk to us on Facebook. We do try to read appropriate comments for that, especially if you're going to comment on a specific episode.
Yes.
Please put it in the comments for that episode, because we do post the episodes we do post a link to the episodes on Facebook. So yeah, put it there, or just mark it in the Discord which one it is. To give an idea, I'm going to pull not from our Discord, but from somebody else's Discord, Geek Devotions, where we got a shout out over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm pulling from Geek Devotions for a short second. He says this is a Brandon on here, and it says, I'm in the middle of listening to the Cellcast. The ranting on Outlaw Star is hilarious.
Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate it.
And no Paladin Pirate. It did not get a Rant Master throughout the whole month, throughout the whole series. And to be honest, I'm surprised.
Yes.
Because I like, to a degree, it's not because we hated it. It's because we were disappointed.
Yes, we were disappointed.
There was nothing that really got us so angry. We just wanted to kill this thing, which is generally why we have to use Rant Master. But anyway, thank y'all for joining us tonight. Join us next week, like we said, for the Page Master along with Trial and Avatar. But in the meantime, this has been Drew.
This is Jacob.
And we'll catch you in the next frame.
To follow Jacob and Drew's individual internet exploits, check out the Linktree links in the show notes. You can email us at the cellcastpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter or X at @cast_cell.
It's just a matter
Follow
of how
our
to get it
Facebook
done.
page, the Cellcast Podcast, and join our Facebook group, the Cell Nation, our YouTube channel, Cellcast, and our Rumble channel, the Cellcast Gaming. You can join us every Friday night at 7 p.m. Central for our live recordings of our episodes on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. You can also join Drew on those same streaming channels on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Central for gaming streams. You can listen to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere else fine podcasts can be downloaded from. Please rate and review us where you found us. Our theme song is Drop and Roll by Silent Partner. Our bad movie theme is It's Party Time by Gregory Snegoff, with additional audio from the film Titanic: The Legend Goes On, and remember, that's Cell with a single L.
I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I live in a garbage can. I eat raw tomatoes. I don't remember how this ends. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man.